What's up, YouTube? This is your boy Game for Daniel, aka Big D, and back with another unboxing video. But today I am gonna be putting together something pretty awesome. So this is gonna be like a unboxing slash how to put together blah blah blah. Now it's not like the best video, I will put it out there, because I kind of skipped the first half of putting the other half together, but I'll explain it to you here how I did it. So I'll show you real quick. Alright, so today we are just going to be talking about the whole racing stand simulator. So this is a front cockpit that my wife got me for Christmas. Oh.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, huh?
Just like count to
That's
five.
exactly what. Oh shit!
Who the hell did that one?
My
staying in the video.
My booty hole.
There comes the chair.
My booty hole want to say something. Shit.
That's Jason.
Heck yeah, racing simulator.
Racing simulator.
Seth.
And I didn't have any videos of me putting it together because I was just too excited putting it together and I forgot to film it. But anyway, it's pretty self-explanatory, okay? It's pretty self-explanatory. So you get these two bars. These two bars come in separate. You basically take this bar. Now for me, the whole floor was already put together. Like, the whole mounting floor. But I took this bar, took this, and basically screwed that all the way. Now this tightens it. You can loosen this up and adjust this up and down if you want, and then you adjust it where you want it to be. This other bolt just holds the bottom of it to keep it nice and firmed in there. Now this bolt just controls the floor, so I can adjust the floor right here up or down, but I have it like right in the middle. And then this other one also bolts in to keep it in place. Once you do that, then you put on your second bar, and this basically slides up or down. So I can slide it up and down. Like, I can adjust it if I want, but I have it right there where I want it. So you just tighten it, and that's where I want it. Next is this. You can also adjust this up or down if you want. That adjusts like the steering wheel, you know, how you want it setting. Next is the gear shifter stand. Pretty self-explanatory. Came with a bar. You just mount the bar, and then you mount this to the bar. So that's pretty self-explanatory. And then the foot pedals is mounted on there. See, it's literally mounted on there. I got the bolts mounted underneath of this. So if you guys see right there, it's mounted underneath, so the foot pedal ain't going anywhere. And the steering wheel is also mounted as well. So you can see it's got the clip, so it's not going anywhere. So this is the Thrustmaster T80. This one's just on there temporarily. I did get me the new Thrustmaster T248, but I only bought the wheel and it was $69. I'll leave a link in the video when I unboxed that wheel. I bought it off of a guy on eBay that wasn't sure if it worked. I bought it untested. So if you guys want to see that video, link in the description of me unboxing that wheel. But that's going to be my new wheel on this racing kit, this whole racing stand. But I need to get the Thrustmaster T3 PM, the 3 pedal set, to be able to play on that wheel, because these don't work on that wheel. These pedals only work for this wheel. And then, you know, you mount the legs, keep you from scratching the floor. You can adjust them how high you want it. And then comes with these little stoppies at the end. And that is the front cockpit of the racing stand that my wife got me. Alright guys, so now you are caught up where I'm at. So today's episode is going to be mounting the rear cockpit to the rear, which is going to adjust from the back from the seat. So let's go ahead and open this up, and it's actually in a smaller box. Look how small that is. Look how thin that is. So it must not be all that big. When that came in, that was in like a big box, but this one came in a thin box. So let's see what's inside. All right, so you can kind of see it right there. That's the rear bar for that. So basically what I'm doing is you can buy these with the full kit, or you can buy them separate. So what my wife did, she bought the cockpit, just the front cockpit, and then once I knew she got me that, I went and got me the rear piece. So I just basically, you know, we bought it separate. But you can buy them all at once for the whole piece, but she just went and bought the separate. So, you know, the front was like, I think she said like $55, $56, and this only cost me $50. So about half and half. So, you know, about $110, $110 altogether. And hey, when you don't have the money like that up front, it's good to buy stuff budget, you know. So this is a good budget racing simulator. Alright, so this is everything it came with. So it came with the rear bar, came with extra bars, and then I guess the adjustables to be able to mount the seat. I don't know. Let's see. Let's find out. And then, you know, your parts that you're gonna need. So yeah. And obviously it says manual, but that's not really much of a manual. I mean, it kind of shows you a picture of what to do, but this is what it's supposed to look like after it's done. Alright, so I am gonna start with the legs first. And I actually like these because it's a rubber piece. So that's nice. Where the ones in the front right here are like hard plastic. But everything else is metal. Like it's all metal. Like I said, pretty self-explanatory. You just screw it in like that. And that sounded wrong. That's what she said. Alright. And like I said, you can adjust these where you want them to be. So for now, I'll just put them all the way in for now. And with the rubber on it, that helps because look, it keeps it from moving. Alright, so next is these two bars. Now, I'm assuming these go... Okay, so since I have the full piece now, I can actually unhook this. That was just like a cover for that. So I'm assuming this bar goes into the front. Yep, goes into the front and connects to the back, which it's got another rubber piece that I gotta remove. And then it should connect right in there. Yep, just like that. And I can be able to adjust it if I want it in or if I want it out. That's cool. I can adjust that, you know, how long of a length I want it. And then I guess right here, like I said, it's pretty self-explanatory just looking at it. And wherever you want it tightened, or wherever you want it, you just basically tighten that. And it holds it in place. Yep. And we also got to do the same for up here as well. So we got to tighten up here to keep it from sliding up front. Alright, so next is these mountings. So I'm assuming this is what mounts to the chair. So basically they kind of set like that. So the big side, because this is smaller up here, it wouldn't look right if it sat like this. See? Because see, it wants to fall over. So always the big side down, facing down. And then go get your bolts. Get your bolts. and your nuts. And yeah, that's what she said again. And let's mount it. Alright, so you're gonna need these. So this is all you're gonna need. This is everything you're gonna need to mount these. Alright, so what you want to do is make sure you have this, have the washer on it. Make sure you have the washer on it. Put it right down in like that. And then you get your other piece. And this is what mounts on the bottom of it. And go ahead and get your Allen wrench that it came with and hold the bottom of it. Make sure you hold underneath and go ahead and tighten it. Alright, so before you go ahead and tighten everything all the way, make sure you snug it so you can be able to adjust where you want it to be when you mount your chair, because some chairs are going to be different for each setting. So snug it for now. Just get the bolts snugged in there until you get your chair adjusted to where it needs to be. So both of the bolts are in. Like I said, leave it loose for now so you can adjust where you need it to be for the chair. And let me go get the chair. Alright, so this is the chair that my wife actually got me for, I think, my birthday 2 years ago. So I've had this chair for literally 2 years. And it's been really nice. The only thing I've been having troubles with it lately, it is a really nice chair. It's got the racing wheels on it. Got it where you can lift it up and down, or you can adjust this back and forth. And it does rock a little bit as well. But the only thing I have a little bit of downside on it, if you look at it, looks perfectly fine right here. But if you look at it at an angle, it kind of looks like it's slanting down. And when you're sitting in it, it kind of feels like you're slanted down. So I am actually glad I'm able to mount this Speed Series chair onto the racing kit, because then I won't have that problem. I think there's something wrong with like the legs. Something's going on under there, making it slant. But this is the chair that my wife got me. So she technically paid about half of her money into this whole kit, and I paid about half of my money. So we kind of split half of our money into this whole. But this chair I've had for 2 years. I've had this the longest, and I'm finally going to be mounting it onto a racing simulator stand. And you can remove the pillows, but that's the brand S Racer Speed Series. You know, you can remove those, but I like the pillows. Alright, let's go ahead and take this whole wheel off. Alright, so here's the wheels. Oh, that's the wheels. So I'm going to be basically just unbolting these bolts. I might keep the handles on this side, but I can remove those too if I want. I'll see what it looks like when I mount it on here and go from there. But definitely going to be removing the whole wheels. So get the Allen wrench and loosen this sucker up. Alright guys, so it is off. I took it off. These bolts were mounted pretty good. They have them lock nuts in there. They call it lock nuts. Really locks it in there. And yeah, it took me some strength to get that off. But that's that. Actually, this chair, believe it or not, just turned 3 years old today, because it was manufactured in January of 2020. And we're in January of 2023. So this chair turned 3 years old. Nice. So actually, when my wife got me this chair, she actually bought it off a guy on a Facebook market. And at the time, it was a really good deal. She only paid $100 for it, even, off of this guy. And like I said, she found it on this Facebook market. The guy met up with me. She gave me the money to hand me to him, and it was straight up $100 for the whole, you know, like brand new chair. And it still is amazing. But man, 3 years, that's crazy. But now it's gonna have a new home to go to, and it is gonna go right on to the racing kit. So bye wheels. I'm still keeping the wheels. I'll hang on to the wheels in case I want to, you know, whatever. But it's gonna be interesting to actually have it mounted on there. So I'm gonna use the same bolts that it came with, you know, that came off the chair. And what works out so perfect is that this chair is actually designed for these like racing simulator stands. So it just gets, it all works out perfect, because I'm glad I had this chair, because some of these chairs I've seen online are not cheap. So I'm glad my wife got me this chair, and it actually mounts onto something like this, because it's actually designed for this. It's a racing chair. Alright, so I didn't think of this. I have no way of seeing where I'm going to mount this, so I might have to retake these back off. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to have to do, is take these back off. Alright guys, so make sure you have this off. Don't mount these on yet. I didn't know that until now. Don't mount these on yet until you mount them to the chair first. So that is what I'm going to do. I am going to mount it right to the chair. So about right there, lines right up. Alright, here we go. I might have to drill a new hole right there because it's a little too short there, but no big deal. So we got another problem. Alright, so the way the chair is designed, it is too close. It's not even close to both ends of the mounts. So that right there is a problem. So most likely I'm going to have to remove the handles. I'm going to have to remove those and mount these where the handles, or the handle, or you know, the armrests. I'm going to have to unhook these and mount them where the armrests are bolted to, and hopefully that's enough separation to be able to mount it to the frame. Because if I can't get the chair to mount on this rear frame, then it was basically a waste of time and waste of money of even ordering this back frame. So I'm going to try to make this work and make it fit. Right here are where the armrests are bolted, so I'm going to have to remove these, and that should give me enough clearance to be able to actually mount it on the frame. That should give it enough separation, so go ahead and get these off. And these are a bitch, man. These can be a pain because of the lock nuts that are on there. You know, it keeps them locked in place to keep them from unscrewing. And see how much force I gotta put to get it. Yep. So I'll be right back when I get these off. This is what the whole bottom is looking like now. So I have more room to be able to mount. Should be able to have enough room, enough clearance to actually mount it. And there's the armrest. Alright, so let's go ahead and redo this. So I'm going to have it about right over here. That should be enough to actually get it mounted on the frame. This ain't going to work either because it's going to be like that at an angle, and it ain't going to mount right. So I'm going to have to figure something else out. So what I had to do, so obviously these two wasn't working because it's at an angle and it would not mount right on this. So I put it back where it needed to be, but I only mounted it with one bolt on the bottom, and then I turned these, kind of making them like separated enough so I can at least mount it on the back. So I'm going to see if that works and at least gives it some type of secure to the mount. I preferred if I was able to get all 4 bolts, but this chair, if only this was long enough, if it was like from there to there, I would have had enough clearance to be able to mount it, but these only go so far. So that was my issue I ran into. This should work though. As I went ahead and put the armrest back on, so I'm going to go ahead and bolt this to the mount now and go from there. So it kind of looks like that. Alright guys, so I got the bolts tighted, and I got them as tight as I can. And as you see, you know, it's on there. Obviously nothing's mounted here, so nothing's mounted to the chair back here, and it's mounted, so it's basically mounted to the chair up front, and then the mount to the frame is to the back. That was the only way I could do it, since the hose wasn't separated far enough. But it's on there. This is what it's looking like. It's looking really good. It's coming out pretty nice. I had to emphasize of how I was gonna make the chair work, and it's on there. It's at least on there. You know, it's not like the most stable, but it's on there. Like, it's on there enough, like, you know what I mean? And I kept the armrest on there in case I want to rest my arms. So that's on there. I don't know why that's like that. I tightened that all the way. But pull this lever to adjust it back. So you can adjust it back if you want, or you can have it up front, so you can adjust it like that. But yeah, look how close that was from that being able to work. If that was just a little bit further, that would have been able to mount perfectly, but that wasn't the case. Go ahead and put these on there. There we go. Got a little bit of dust on it already. Well, guys, there you have it. That is the whole racing simulator kit that was basically bought from piece to piece. So let's go ahead and add up everything that was paid for this whole kit. And like I said, this is a nice budget kit. So like I said, my wife went and got the front cockpit. So the whole front cockpit is $55. And then I went and paid for the rear mount. That was another $50. And my wife got me the chair about 2-3 years ago. That's another $100. Now, I'm not going to add the price of this wheel, because this ain't going to be the wheel I'm going to have it on. I'm going to have the T248 on it, which it is in this box. So the T248 that I paid for this wheel was $69. So we'll go ahead and add that to the total of the price. So the only thing else I need for this kit is a gear shifter, which I am going to get the cheap knockoff brand, which is about around $60, because the actual Thrustmaster gear shifter is $200. And I am not paying $200 more than what I spent on the wheel. So I ain't gonna actually get the Thrustmaster. It'd be nice because it's actually like a legit real shifter, is why it's like $200. But I'm not getting that one. I'm gonna get the cheap knockoff brand, which is $60. So that's another $60 for the gear shifter. And then the last thing I need is the Thrustmaster T3 PM 3-pedal set, which is $130 for that. Alright, so after we add everything together, this is how much I paid for this whole racing simulation kit. one more thing that I did not know. This wheel was made in 2013 for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3. Well, I am playing the T80, and it even recognizes it on the Gran Turismo 7 game for the PS5. It recognizes this old racing wheel on this game, and it even says Thrustmaster T80 racing wheel. How cool is that? So you can play this wheel on PS3, PS4, and 5. I figured just to mention that in the video because I thought that's pretty cool. So the ones that are still stuck with this wheel, and you know, this is all you have, you can still use this on your newer systems. Heck yeah. Alright, let's do this. And overall, I do still like this wheel. It feels really nice with the rubber on it, and it just a nice beginner wheel. So I just wanted to say, like, I can't wait to get this full simulator completely put together. But as of now, just playing it with the T80, it's a lot of fun. Like actually sitting in the chair, like actually mounted for once, and I actually feel like I'm like somewhat in a car. That's the whole point. It's supposed to simulate you being in a car. It's a good way. I think simulators is a good way to teach people how to drive. I think that should be a thing for everywhere for people who need to get their license. I think simulators should be the future for people who are trying to get their driver's license, instead of actually going in a car and like risking their lives of hurting themselves or others. I think a simulator is a perfect way for people to go in driving school, and I think that needs to be a thing, especially nowadays. Anyway, I've been in this seat for a while. Freaking love it. I mean, my butt's kind of hurting a little, but I love it. But this is not my first wheel. I mean, this is my first wheel that I bought back in 2016, or I think it was 2017. This was my first wheel I bought for the PS4, but this is not my first wheel altogether. Back then, I used to have a racing wheel. I think it was a Mad Cat. What, you remember the Mad Catz brand? I think it was a Mad Catz racing wheel for the PS2 and for the PS3 back in the day. So that was like, you know, technologies has changed over the years. But consider that this would be my second wheel, and then the T248 would be my third wheel, which is the most expensive wheel I've ever owned. So, with that being said, I am finally getting this racing simulator together, and it is going to be awesome once I get the gear shifter and the 3 pedals for the T248. Man, that shit's going to be awesome. But guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this whole video. It's probably long by now, really long, so I apologize for that. But stay tuned for when I do get the gear shifter and the pedals and all that, when I get everything finally the way I want it. Until next time, guys, I will see you in the next one. And always be safe, don't text and drive. I did have to adjust the pedals down here because it was too close. It was like up here, and my knees were like right up here to the steering wheel. So I adjusted it where it's like that instead. So altogether, this whole kit, after 3 years of buying all this stuff together and finally have it put together, all this stuff that I paid separately and my wife paid separately over the 2 to 3 years cost $464 just for this whole racing kit. That is a really good budget right there. $464 all bought separate, but added together, $464 got me a nice looking racing kit. So this is probably by far the best budget kit you can probably get. You know, and it all depends how much you spend on your wheel, and it all depends how much you spend if you did it like me, buy all this stuff separate. But $464 got me this nice kit right here. Heck yeah. So I'm sitting in it now. The racing wheel is kind of like right there in my face. So I can adjust that down, lower that a little bit more. The seat, I can pull this bar back to make the seat go back. I can also lean back the chair, so I can lean back if I want, or I can lean up. Heck yeah. And I am gonna be in my racing wheel. Alright guys, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me putting together this whole kit. I will be doing unboxing videos when I get the gear shifter and the Thrustmaster T3 PM 3-pedal set. And after that, we're good to go. I have everything I need for this whole kit. Till next time guys, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace! Woo! Woo! Make this turn. Oh, I made it. Alright.